In this life, there's trends. Things are happening, trends are happening, life is moving, and you don't need to keep up. Cars are expensive. No, a minor accident, major, it is expensive. It needs to be repaired. We all have things in life that's precious to us, and for us it shows in many different ways. It can be a car. When you are someone who enjoys these things, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But it becomes a problem when you are either seeking external validation or you're doing it to be able to keep up to a standard. Businesses are smart. Trust me. They know what they're doing. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in. We are here. As you see, we're in a new setup just for the next few episodes. We're here, different studio, different space. The vibe's different. The stories are going to be different. You're going to get a little bit of, you're still going to get the same me. You're still going to see the same face back again, just a different setup. Let's get comfortable. Let's gist as always. Episode 3. And of course, as you know, we're going to sweep the house. Let's get into it. Okay, let me explain. So we've been away for quite a bit. There's been a lot going on. I've been super busy. My producer's been busy as well. We've had a lot going on. However, we wanted to make sure that when we're back on, we've got a good episode for you. So we're back here in a new space. Temporarily, that is, but our original studio is currently undergoing some renovations and a few changes, so we'll be back there in a few weeks time. However, for now, no, we're here. Let's still be comfortable. Still me. You're just going to see the same face over and over again. Of course, that is not going to change, but that is it. So we're just going to sweep the house and get into the episode. Like I said, we've just been super busy trying to, of course, find a studio so that we can still get content out for yourself, because guys, we have been trying. We couldn't find anything. And of course, the producers came. She saved the day as always. And here we are. We've got an episode out and we're going to get into it. I've been also at the gym. I mentioned this actually a few episodes back. I think maybe episode 1 if you cast your minds. And back in the gym, very much in my fitness bag right now. It's going good. It's going good. It's tough because summer's around the corner. I'm sure you're all getting ready. So going on your holidays, I certainly am, and I cannot wait. So we gotta work. We've got to work. I'm on a diet right now. It is hard. It is not easy, but we've got to make it happen. If I want that summer body, the work starts now. I mean, the work started 2 months ago, but working towards it. And that's very much it. The house is now swept. We're going to get into it. We're going to get into the episode. And as we're in a new space, for this episode, I wanted to, moving forward, that is as well, I want to just switch things a little. So things are going to work a little bit different around here. As you know, my favorite segment of the podcast is Be Reddit. So what I'm going to start doing is go through this Reddit story at the start of the episode. We'll dissect things a little bit and then we'll get straight into the main topic. Be Reddit. Are you guys ready? Let's get into it. Right, let's get into it. Am I the problem for refusing to lend my car to my brother after he crashed it last time? My brother asked me to borrow my car for a weekend trip. The last time he borrowed it, he got into a minor accident and didn't help pay for the repairs. This time I told him no because I didn't trust him with it anymore. Now my parents are saying that I'm selfish and that family should help each other. My brother is angry and says that I'm holding a mistake over his head. Am I the problem for refusing to lend my car? Quite simply, I don't think you are the problem. And I'll tell you why. We'll go into it. Starting off with, quite obviously, the car is yours. So you have the right to say yes or no. Although it is your brother, you can still say yes or no. It can be your brother. It can be your friend. It can be your parents. It can be anybody. It is your car. And you have the right to say no. Considering the fact that when you first lent him the car, he had that minor accident. And for you, that can be major. Yes, it's a minor accident. Also, depending on to what extent or how do you describe minor? What is a minor accident? Is that just a scratch on the car? Is it just, has it been hit somewhere? Is there a bump? Something, whatever that is. Cars are expensive. No, a minor accident, major, it is expensive. It needs to be repaired. He didn't the first time, first of all, contribute to repairing the car. So I can understand what would make you think perhaps that if he was to borrow the car again, that he's going to pay for the repairs if he couldn't do it the first time on a minor accident. I'm not saying that this could happen, but there's a potential. You've got to prepare for any sort of risk. What if this time something else happens and it's a lot worse than what happened previously? What are you going to say then? Is it going to refuse to pay for the repairs? Are you going to be left with the burden of paying for what has happened? Is that what you want for yourself? Probably not. I know what I would say. What you would say, I don't know. But I don't think you're the problem for refusing. And it's quite unfair for him to kind of also make you feel bad for refusing to lend him his car, and that he feels that you're now holding this thing over his head and you're not letting it go. But at the end of the day, if you don't feel comfortable enough to lend him the car, then I personally don't think there's anything wrong with you saying no, because first of all, foremost, you're setting a boundary in place. You're saying, well, I did, out of kindness, lend you my car the first time. You've had an accident. It is what it is. I'm not going to do it again. But for him to kind of say, oh, well, you're holding it against me, you shouldn't really be doing that, is quite unfair. And also, I guess maybe when your family is slightly involved in the sense that they're saying that you're quite selfish, and that you should help others. Yes, you can help others, but there is so many other ways that you can help. That may not be in lending him your car again. You can help him financially. It could be, I don't know, if he's struggling he could borrow someone else's car. You could perhaps, help him a little bit with contributing towards getting insurance. Finding out perhaps how long does he need a car for? He might just need it for the day. And is there not nobody else that he can go to or ask to borrow the car? Because if you don't want to, I don't feel like you should be obliged to say yes to that, because again, not only is it going to perhaps, maybe cause some sort of, it could even cause a drift between you, it could even cause further problems, because something might happen and then he brings the car back and it's not even in the condition that it was in. We all have things in life that's precious to us, and for us it shows in many different ways. It can be a car, as it is in this case. That might be your car. It can be, I don't know, anything. You get what I'm trying to say. But if that is something that is precious to you and you don't want to, you know how you take care of things. The way that you take care of something is not the same way somebody else is going to take care of that. You place so much value on something and you say, well, this is important to me. It holds a lot of sentimental value. Someone else may not see it the same way. So for them, it's just another thing. It's just another object. It's just another item. And they'll probably use it and use it carelessly. And for you, you'll be quite hurt, because it's like, well, why are you not taking care of something that I place a lot of value for? I've given you this thing that means a lot to me, and you've just destroyed it. For the sake of peace, for the sake of maintaining a good relationship, I just believe it's best that you stick to those boundaries, be firm in your decision to say no, and don't let that make you feel some type of way. If, as a brother, it could be as a friend, it could be as anyone, if he truly understood and as a decent human being, he would be like, okay, well, he said no, and I have to accept that and I have to respect that. That is that. You move on and the relationship stays how it is. There's no issues, there's no problem. Then you decide, okay, for the sake of pity and because he wants me to do it for him, you then decide, okay, I'm going to lend him the car. Something bad happens. You then start to, I guess, build this sort of resentment towards him because you've lent him the car, he's gone, crashed it again, had another accident. Just makes things worse. For the sake of your own peace, I would just say no. And are you the problem? You are not the problem for refusing to lend him your car. And that is that. So I guess we'll go on to the main section of the episode. Right, let's get into it. So this week, I wanted to talk on keeping up with the Joneses. You might be aware of what this is, you may not. I guess a good starting point, for those that may not know what this is, you probably do. I just want to give a quick definition of what this phrase means from the Cambridge Dictionary. So I'll just read this out, and then we'll get into it. So what does the term keeping up with the Joneses mean? Essentially, it means to always want to own the same expensive objects and to do the same things as your friends or neighbors because you are worried about seeming less important socially than they are. A lot of us, I'm sure I'm not the only one. I'm sure that if you're watching this, you're not the only one. I guess maybe this can give you some sort of comfort and you can know that this is something that we all go through, we all feel at some point. It's completely, do I do I say that that is normal? I don't know. That may not actually be the correct word for me to use, but at some point in our lives, we've somehow essentially determined just comparing yourself, socially, what society expects or what society has set as a standard for us all. And you look at that, you compare yourself to somebody else. And when it comes to like material things, I know we all love, you know, a little bit of material. We're materialistics. Um, I am, yeah, I can be, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, personally, I don't believe there is. I like to have nice things. You probably like to have nice things. It could be for women, for example. A handbag is a huge luxury for women. Like, I don't understand. I don't get it. But we get into that because I'm probably going to trigger a few women. Yeah. Sorry, girls. I'm going to have to trigger you just a little bit. Handbags. I don't get it. Never got it. I don't think I'll ever get it. Why do women love handbags so much? It's almost like a collection. I know there's women that have collections of handbags, like collections. And I'm like, I just don't understand. For an occasion, you're going out, you must have an handbag. The handbag has to match the outfit. And I'm just like, okay, fair enough. I've got this friend, I've got one of my friends. We were on holiday and I was speaking to her. She was packing her stuff and she was telling me about how she had packed like a few, I say a few, I'm not going to say how many. She might not like me for saying this, but a few handbags. And I'm thinking, why do you need that many handbags? Like, is there any need? And she was like, well, yes, because if I go out and I wear this outfit, the handbag has to match the outfit. Or at least if I'm going out and I don't like this bag, I've got a few options that I can choose from. Because sometimes you go out, you've got a few things and you're thinking, oh, actually, I don't really like this. I wish I bought something else. But if I'm going away, I want to make sure I've got options. I've got to give myself options. I don't get it. I probably never will. That's just a women's thing. But again, women just love things like this. It could be handbags. What else? What other example is there? Um, Maybe a watch. I guess no, a watch is more a luxury for men. I guess that's also. I mean, I've attacked the women a little bit. Now let's get on to us guys. So watchers, people who literally love, these expensive, luxurious watches, and I just think, like, why? I don't understand it. I never will, and that's that. When you are someone who enjoys these things, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But it becomes a problem when you are either seeking external validation or you're doing it to be able to keep up to a standard that perhaps you are not able to maintain simply because you've seen someone else who has, a Birkin or somebody who has a Rolex or someone who's bought this really expensive pair of trainers. Oh my goodness. Let me stop there. I've spent all of this time attacking you guys. Let me get onto myself. Sorry, I love trainers. So I will spend a lot for a pair of trainers. Accountability king right there. I will hold myself accountable. Yes, I do love trainers, but going back to it, I would never, let's say if someone else has bought a really expensive pair of trainers, I'll look at it and think, okay, I appreciate a good pair of trainers, but if I'm not in a position that I can afford those trainers, I will not buy the trainers. I will wait until I'm able to afford them. Then I'll go and buy them. Because if you think, guys, if you're trying to keep up with the trends, you're trying to keep up with what society deems as socially acceptable, or you should be at this sort of, you should have these sort of like luxurious things. And trust me, you are going to send yourself mad. You are going to go crazy. It is literally like the meme of, you've probably seen this meme, like, you will end up in McDonald's. You will literally end up in McDonald's because you're going to be going out thinking of taking out loans. You're borrowing money from people when you don't have the money available. And then you're just digging yourself a bigger and bigger hole, all in the name of what? What society, what you want people to see, what you want to present, even though in the background, you are struggling. You are struggling. You are taking out loans to be spending on these expensive things. And that is why I do feel like keeping up with the Joneses is such, it has to stop. It really has to stop. If you're watching this and it's something that you're probably going through, you're thinking, oh, I want this, I want that, because my neighbor over there, my friend over there has got it, so I should have it. No, 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 no. Stop. Stop right there. I will tell you here right now, stop, because you're going to, no, you can even lead and force yourself to end up in a stage where you're even depressed. You're really struggling because you've dug yourself a hole, but because now people expect this for yourself, you've already set that standard. Your standard is up here. You're used to like these luxurious thing that people know you as this person, so you have to keep it up. Now, if you can't keep that up, baby, who's going to save you? You're going to struggle. You're going to just end up going into, perhaps, I don't want to, of course, go into that, but it's just not good. Not good for your mental health, for your state of mind. You've just got to do what is great for you. And I guess onto that as well, I've got an example. Going back to myself and my love for trainers, I don't think that will ever change. I don't think that will ever change. However, when I see a new pair of trainers, I mean, this started actually when I was younger, and this is when I realized that for me, yes, and I've already been at you. I've already gotten to you, women. Already gotten to you, men, for loving your handbags, which I'll never understand. But if that is what you like, that is what you like. I've already attached women on handbags because I don't get it. I never will get it. I just don't get it. I've equally attached you, men, who like Rolexes and luxurious watches. I don't get it. I'll never get it. But you also won't get the fact that I love trainers. For someone else, that is like, well, I don't get why you love trainers, so why are you attacking us? Yeah. Well, so I'll explain. The reason why I've been guilty of this, right? I've been guilty of trying to keep up with the Joneses. My experience started when actually I was younger. I've always had a love for trainers. When I used to, work for £5 an hour, I would go to work, do a 5-hour shift, come back with £30. £30. Or well, it was just a little bit more than like £5, but average, it was around £30 that I'll get after like a few hours at work. I'd come back, I'll work a few shifts, and then I would go and spend all of that money on trainers. And I remember my mom used to, this is something we used to like, not even clash, but she used to always stand against and remind me. And this is something I'm so grateful for. And the fact that she's actually helped me understand that it's not every time that you need to, there's this hunger. It was almost like if I saw the newest trainers, I had to get it. But no. So she really helped me understand that it's not every time that you see this that you have to go and get it. Because first of all, you don't know how that person got the trainers that they got. You don't know their situation, their financial situation. Perhaps they may have gone and stolen those pair of trainers. You don't know. Now, you will then want to find out how they've gone and how they've gone and got it. That can then lead you to potentially stealing. And then if you steal, what's going to happen? You are going to end up in jail. You are going to end up in jail. And that's why, I'm really grateful that she's really been able to like instill this in my head from a very young age, that now I'm older, I look back at that and I think, okay, well, if I see a new pair of trainers, I will look at them and think, okay, well, I don't have the money right now, so I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to die. Those trainers will still be there. Yes, it's not going to be trending right now. Yes, that's not what everyone's going to be wearing. But at the end of the day, you've got the trainers. You can still put an outfit together. You can still wear it with whatever you want. Just because it's not trending, just because it's not relevant right now, doesn't mean that you can't wear it. And that for me is something that I've really grown up to stay in my head, because I don't have to have the newest trainers. Yes, and also the other thing was when she also said to me, she was like, okay, you may get it now, and then a few months later, those trainers are not trending anymore. So why be real with yourself? What is actually the reason you're getting it? Are you getting it because you genuinely like the trainers, or are you getting it because it is what is trending? It is what society thinks are the best trainers right now, the most amazing trainers on the market. Just think about that before you get them. And when I sat down and thought about that, everything just switched. So when you see me with my trainers, I can have a pair of trainers that were out a few years ago and they're not trending now, but because I wasn't in a position to get it then, but I'm in a position to get it now, and I still like the trainers, I've gone and got it, and I'm still wearing it. And the other thing is as well, sometimes prices change. Something that is, as you know, especially in this day and age, when things are trending, there's like an influx of people who are literally running for that one thing. Businesses are smart. Trust me, they know what they're doing. So when you see a pair of trainers, right, at the time that it's trending, the price is going to be high, 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 because there is a high demand. People want it. I want it right now. I want it now. I want to wear it. They're going to be charging a lot. If you're in a position to get it, yes, go for it. If you're not, do not stress yourself. But it used to literally make me feel like I had to get it. It just switched for me when I thought, well, right now I'm not in a position. Do I really want these pair of trainers, or am I getting it because it's trending? As soon as I thought of that and let that sink in, everything changed. And when you see me today, you see me wearing trainers. There's still trainers that I wear, but when you know how to style, not to blow my own horn, but when you know how to put an outfit together, you can make something that was trending 5 years ago trend again today. Be the trendsetter. Don't follow the trends. Be the trendsetter. And guess what? B is a trendsetter. Yes, I said it. Like, believe in your own source. I am a trendsetter. So that's really, I guess, to kind of maybe round it up. And ultimately, what I'm trying to say is stop comparing yourself. Stop trying to live up to what society deems to be acceptable and what you should have, what you should be doing, because that is only going to drive you insane. Because if you can't keep up with it, you're going to start to feel like, oh, I'm failing. I'm not doing this. I don't have this. Like I've already mentioned, you don't know how people have got what they have. So your situation is different. Your situation is not the same as Barbara's situation. Your situation is not the same as Jonathan's situation. Your situation isn't the same as Michael's. Your situation is yours. You have to learn to deal with what you have. In this life, we're dealt with cards that for some of us, we have, unfortunately, we're not dealt with great cards, but you have to think about how can I use these set of cards, play the game, okay, I've got this set of cards. How am I going to use what I have here to turn my life around? How am I going to use what I have here to better myself? I don't know what James has there. I don't know what Emily has, but I know what I have. I know what me, Bienvenue, I know my cards. These are the cards that I've been dealt with in this life. I have to find a way and I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to make it happen. I'm not going to look at anybody else. I'm going to stay focused, stay in my own lane, do what I have to do. And that is just life. Stop comparing yourself. Stop keeping up with the Joneses because it is going to send you insane. Insane. I hope I've made myself clear. I hope, wherever you're listening, sorry, this is really tough. I'm coming at you with a lot of tough love. Sorry that I've been at it. When I'm passionate about something, I really talk. I can talk. It can sound like I'm about to chew your brains off, but it's just the realities. It's the world we live in. In this life, there's trends. Things are happening. Trends are happening. Life is moving, and you don't need to keep up. You don't have to keep up. You need to stay in your own lane, remain focused because you have a goal, you have a mission. Keep your eyes on the prize. And I think that is it. It's probably, again, a good place to finish the episode. I know I've been at you. I really have. No mercy around here. Sometimes you need to hear the harsh truth. At the end of the day, someone's got to say it. Unfortunately, this week you're hearing it from me. You'll be back again next week, I'm sure. But that's very much it. Again, just remember, stop letting people pressure you. Do not let anyone pressure you into doing something that you don't want to do, because at the end of the day, you are the one who's going to be suffering. You're the one who will have to deal with this. Like I said, we've already touched with the Reddit story for at the start of the episode. Remember, if you don't want to and you're not comfortable, you just politely say no because you just don't want to. And also, it's really unfair, like I've said. It's so unfair for your brother and even your family members to make you feel uncomfortable or make you feel bad about your decision. It's really, really unfair. And, if that's happening, then what can you do? You can only control your own actions and cannot control what anyone else does. So that is that. And then also, remember, stop keeping up with the Joneses. Stop keeping up with the Joneses. I cannot emphasize that point enough. Do what you want to do. If there is something that you love, as I've already mentioned, yes, there's certain things I'm not going to understand. You might be watching this and you're thinking, well, you have a love for trainers. Why do you love trainers that much? For you, it can be something else. And if that's the case, that's absolutely fine. But you just have to learn to and know where what the standard is. Stop comparing yourself. Stop trying to put pressure on yourself to keep up with society and what society deems as acceptable, and that you should have this thing. You should have the latest gadgets. You should have the latest trainers. You should have the latest handbags. If that thing is not trending right now, but you've worked hard, first of all, you may have spent years saving up for something that you've wanted. Be proud of yourself. Be happy that you've at least been able to get that thing, even though it's not trending. And that is all that matters. Do it for yourself. Do it for you, not for anybody else. Do it because you want to and not because you want to show other people that, oh, I can afford this. When in reality, you are struggling. When in reality, you are sitting at home eating bread and beans. You are struggling. You're having struggle meals. But on the outside, people think that you have all of these luxurious things, when in reality, that's not the case. Be true to yourself and just happiness. Just be happy. Choose your happiness. Choose your peace over anything. Over anything. And I guess that is it. As always, we'll be back again next week. Like I've already mentioned, we're going to be in this new space for the next few episodes. So, I'm loving the space, and we'll be back again. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We're still on YouTube. Again, our handles are going to be here. So TikTok and Instagram, still Being B Podcast. Follow us there. Keep following us to stay up to date with what we're doing. and I'll see you next week for episode 4. Anyways, guys, have a great week and peace out. That's a wrap.